Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So if you're watching this, the Edmonton Oilers just lost Game 3 to the Florida Panthers. Full transparency, I'm filming this at the second intermission because that second period was so disgusting if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan in terms of just absolutely choking a game that you kind of were winning in terms of the 5-on-5 battle. It is unacceptable. I assume that they ended up losing either 4-2 or 4-1 or 5-1. I don't know, but it was obvious that the Edmonton Oilers' liabilities just fully reared their ugly heads. The things that you were most worried about with this team: Stuart Skinner, Darnell Nurse, Cody Ceci, Evan Bouchard turning the puck over. What happened in this game? Exactly that. The first goal, Evan Bouchard at the blue line gets it, I believe, from McDavid, tries to be cute with it, gets it poked away by the goddamn two-time Selke winner, the guy that just won the goddamn Selke, and Alexander Barkov. Ends up being a goal. On the second goal, Stuart Skinner. Darnell Nurse, the third goal. Stuart Skinner goes behind the net when he really shouldn't. Cody Ceci gets beat to the puck on the boards. Wide open for Vladimir Tarasenko. Yet again, Stuart Skinner, who I thought was actually playing pretty solid in the first two games, he shits the bed. Simply unacceptable. 90% of goaltenders, 95, 99 maybe even percent of goaltenders don't do that crap. And then on the fourth goal wasn't that bad. But the third goal, you just have Darnell Nurse not able to clear the puck. Then he just gets exposed, not aware of Sam Bennett. Where Sam Bennett was, Matthew Tkachuk passes it over to Bennett. Easy goal. So when looking at the Edmonton Oilers, they're down 3-0. They're probably cooked. If it was 3-1, I can maybe believe in a comeback. 2-0, I thought they were still alive. Especially considering Florida has Game 5 and Game 7 to close it out. I don't think it's going to go Game 7, don't get me wrong. But this series is probably over. It's probably going to be a sweep just based on how demoralizing and how banged up the Edmonton Oilers are. And yeah, man, it's just like, it's so frustrating if you're an Oilers fan. I'm not really an Oilers fan. Although I picked them, I am kind of rooting for the Florida Panthers. But when looking at Edmonton, it's a really tough offseason that they're going to be entering. I'm going to give the Florida Panthers their flowers when they win the Stanley Cup. So they played fantastic. But today, we're going to kind of look at the Edmonton Oilers and what they can even do heading into this offseason. Again, the season is over. This could age horribly. But when looking at the Edmonton Oilers in their current situation, it's a very interesting one because their biggest liability, Darnell Nurse, $9.25 million in the next 6 seasons. People are saying that he could get bought out, but I can show you guys the buyout numbers. I'll throw it up right now. He gets paid more from years 2 through 5 of that buyout. It is absolutely fucking insane. It's like an 8.8 then a $9.5 million cap hit for 3 years. It is nuts. I'm not sure that's feasible. They're going to have to attach 1 million picks to him. Looking at a Stuart Skinner, I think you got to bring in a goaltender. I think we can all agree that Stuart Skinner doesn't have what it takes. Although he did come up big in moments against the Dallas Stars and even in the first 2 games, again, I thought he played pretty well. He is not a championship level goaltender. Yes, McDavid and Draisaitl can bail you out of some series with below average goaltending, but heading into next season, they need to, at the bare minimum, bring in a veteran 1A for Stuart Skinner. I don't think you're going to trade Stuart Skinner because he only makes $2.6 million. He's a solid regular season goalie. He can be your backup, but I think going into this offseason, you need to be aggressive. In terms of who's going to be deciding all that, Ken Holland, I think, is on his way out. I think we can agree based on how this team is kind of folded in the Stanley Cup Finals. And then a Cody Ceci. A Cody Ceci has 1 year left at $3.5 million. I think he's got to be gone without a doubt, considering just how bad him and Darnell Nurse have been throughout this season. Other guys like Evander Kane, he obviously has his hip injury. If you can somehow trade him $5.125 million for the next 2 goddamn seasons, like that's the problem with this Edmonton Oilers team. A lot of their guys have terms. There's not quick fixes outside of just getting rid of Cody Ceci, who only has 1 year left. The rest of their guys, they'd have to attach assets to in order to get them off the team. It's not easy. A Jack Campbell buyout is feasible, but then you're going to have $2 million in dead cap the next 2 years after this. It is not an ideal situation. And on top of that, you got to deal with Bouchard and Draisaitl getting extensions this summer, most likely, that don't kick in until the following year, 2025, 2026. But still, next year is basically the Edmonton Oilers' best. I mean, this was also a great chance for them to win the Stanley Cup, but next year is really their last chance as a top tier contender, most likely, considering the fact they're going to have Evan Bouchard at $3.9 million, Leon Draisaitl at 8.5. That's going to go up to 13.5 and probably like 8.59 million. You probably save some money based on how disappointing Evan Bouchard was in this series. But yeah, the Edmonton Oilers are just kind of getting outclassed against the Florida Panthers. And honestly, they squeaked by the Dallas Stars. Edmonton beat Dallas at the end of the day. It's all that matters. And I did pick Dallas to win the Stanley Cup, so I am biased. But I think we can probably agree that the Dallas Stars would be putting up a better battle right now against the Florida Panthers. This Edmonton Oilers team with Connor McDavid heading into next season, it is going to be a fascinating offseason for what they're going to end up doing. I don't think you're going to trade a Draisaitl. I've seen that get floated around. At $8.5 million, you're not going to find a better fucking package for your team next season, and you're going to care about next season. You're not going to punt on next season in terms of a Draisaitl. He's obviously going to be on the team. RNH makes $5.125 million or something like that, similarly to Evander Kane. You're not trading him. Hyman makes 5.5. Ekholm makes $6 million, but he's still elite. There's really no clear easy fix for the Edmonton Oilers. Yes, they could buy out a Darnell Nurse and get $8 million in cap space next year. Then the following, again, 4 years after that, you're still paying him over $8 million just to not be on your team. They are in such a fascinating situation this offseason, pretty much up against the cap. Guys like Warren Fogle as free agents. I just cannot wait to see how this develops for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, when looking at them in this series, could they potentially come back? Maybe you're not even seeing this video because they did come back. But when looking at it down 3-0, yeah, the history beyond that is just it's nothing. And considering the fact that their power play has been fucking dog shit, they have generated some chances. Don't get me wrong, but Bobrovsky just stood up. They have not been able to find Draisaitl like they have in the previous 3 years, 3 rounds, and honestly the previous 3 years before that. Draisaitl is their go-to guy. They've done such an effective job stopping the cross-crease passes. Has the Florida Panthers. Florida is just a more physical team. Talking about those board battles, they're just the deeper team. So when McDavid and Draisaitl aren't giving you multi-point nights, when your only goal scorers are Matthias Ekholm and Warren Fogle 8 periods into a goddamn series, they're getting outscored 11-2 at the time of recording this. That is fucking nuts. I obviously picked the Edmonton Oilers. I'm a big dummy for that. Feel free to clown me. But I think I said it was a 7-game series. I wasn't like the Edmonton Oilers are clearly a better team. But this is shocking because they can just not finish for the life of them. And they've been fine finishing throughout the season. But right now, really, their stars are not playing to the level that they're capable. Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, on top of the fact that McDavid just not getting bounces. I think that's really what it comes down to. McDavid has been he's generated a lot of chances. He's generated a lot of chances in this series, but really just can't find anything. His teammates can't really finish for him. And when Draisaitl's giving his B-, C+ game, Bouchard's making 2 boneheaded decisions. You look at it in game 1 or game 2. He also had one horrible play. Oh yeah, it was to Evan Rodriguez. It was game 2 when he passed it right to Evan Rodriguez's stick, and Evan Rodriguez rifled it home. When two of their top 3, when 2 of their big 3 are playing below their B games, the Edmonton Oilers just aren't going to be able to beat an elite team like the Florida Panthers. Against the Dallas Stars, they got all their guys playing A-, A, or even A+ games. But now against the Florida Panthers, it has just not happened. Florida's blend of both skill and physicality is really getting over on this Edmonton Oilers team that already is pretty worn down against the Dallas Stars. Guys like Kane are hurt. Darnell Nurse is nurturing an injury, even though he already sucks when he is healthy. This is just really disappointing if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan. This is going to be a fantastic summer for them going forward in terms of they know what the problems are in these teams, but given the terms of the contracts that they have, there is no easy fix with this Edmonton Oilers team. So yeah, let me know in the comments. What do you think about this? What would you do if you're the Edmonton Oilers heading into Game 4, heading into this offseason, considering at this point they're kind of cooked? I hope I reverse jinx them. I really do hope I reverse jinx them. That would be funny as hell looking back on this. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Edmonton Oilers? And I'll be seeing you in the next one.